You are watching Channel Y. Channel Y, a South Asian Canadian channel.
ਹੈਲੋ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ। ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵੈਸਟ ਦੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੋਟਰਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਧਾਈ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ 2018 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਲੈਕਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਪੀਸੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ। ਔਰ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਵਾਅਦੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵੈਸਟ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਐਜ਼ ਏ ਮੈਟਰ ਆਫ ਫੈਕਟ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਵਾਅਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿਭਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਖਰਾ ਉਤਰਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ। ਔਰ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਦੀ ਰੀ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਨੂੰ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੱਲਾਸ਼ੇਰੀ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ 3 ਮਈ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਐਡਵਾਂਸ ਪੋਲ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਵੋਟਿੰਗ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਐਡਵਾਂਸ ਪੋਲਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਪਾਉਣੀਆਂ। ਅਤੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਦੇ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੂੰਗਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਾਈਡ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਦ ਰਾਈਡ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ 2 ਜੂਨ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਜ਼ ਏ ਵੋਟਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਕੇ ਘਰੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਨੂੰ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਪਾਉਣੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਇੱਕ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ ਔਰ ਇੱਕ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬਣ ਸਕੇ। ਔਰ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਪੈਂਡੈਮਿਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੰਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਆ ਔਰ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਹੱਲਾਸ਼ੇਰੀ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਗੋ ਫॉर ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਔਰ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ। ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਸੰਧੂ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵੈਸਟ ਤੋਂ ਅੰਟਾਰੀਓ ਪੀਸੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦਾ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵਾਈ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਟੀਮ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੀਮਤੀ ਸਮਾਂ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਵਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਲਾਂਚ ਨੂੰ। ਅਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵੈਸਟ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ, ਸਾਰੇ ਬਰੈਂਪਟੋਨੀਅਨਸ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡਿਸਪਾਈਟ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਵੈਦਰ ਅੱਜ ਮੀਂਹ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ ਵਾ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਕੱਠ ਦੱਸ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਆ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ। ਫੋਰ ਐਵਰ ਗ੍ਰੇਟਫੁਲ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਸਾਥ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਪਿਛਲੇ 4 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅਤੇ ਨਾਟ ਓਨਲੀ ਦੈਟ ਇੱਕ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਤੇ ਓਨਲੀ 4-5 ਫੈਮਲੀਆਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ। ਅੱਜ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਕੱਠ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਕਿ ਬਰੋਡਰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਗਰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਮ ਅਸੀਂ 4 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ, ਚਾਹੇ ਨਵਾਂ ਹੌਸਪੀਟਲ, ਚਾਹੇ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਸਕੂਲ, ਹਾਈਵੇ 413, ਲੌਂਗ ਟਰਮ ਕੇਅਰ ਹੋਮ, LRT, 2-ਵੇ ਆਲ ਡੇ ਗੋ, ਨਵਾਂ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਸਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵੈਸਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੋ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਛ ਪਿਛਲੇ 4 ਸਾਲ ਡਿਲੀਵਰ ਕੀਤਾ। ਉਹਦੇ ਬੇਸ 'ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਅਪੀਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੌਕਾ ਦਿਓ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੋਰ ਪੈਂਡਿੰਗ ਕੰਮ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਡਿਲੀਵਰ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ। ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਡਗਫੋਰਡ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਵਾ। ਵੀ ਆਰ ਫੋਰ ਐਵਰ ਗ੍ਰੇਟਫੁਲ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਕਿ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਾਪੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਗਰੋ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਡਿਮਾਂਡਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦੀਆਂ ਵਾ, ਇਨਫਰਾਸਟਰਕਚਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੀਮਤੀ ਸਮੇਂ ਜੋ ਟਾਈਮ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਪੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੂਨ 2 ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੀਮਤੀ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਾਈਮ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੋਟ ਕਰੋ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।
ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਸੰਧੂ ਭਾਜੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਦੇ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਲਾਂਚ ਇਵੈਂਟ 'ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਇਕੱਠ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਪਿਛਲੇ 4 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੀ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਉਠਾ ਰਹੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ 413 ਹਾਈਵੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਵਾਂ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਲਿਆ ਰਹੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਡਗਫੋਰਡ 'ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਭਾਜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਰੋਲ ਪਲੇ ਕੀਤਾ। ਸੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਇਕੱਠ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਅੱਜ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਰੈਲੀ ਹੋਈ ਅਤੇ ਗੈਦਰਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ, ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆਪ ਆਏ। we're very excited and ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਵੀ ਜੂਨ 2 ਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਭਾਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਤਾ ਕੇ ਕੁਈਨਸ ਪਾਰਕ ਭੇਜੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਹੋਵੇ ਅਤੇ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊਸ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਟੂ ਦ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਰਹੇ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ ਐਂਡ ਔਨ ਜੂਨ 2 ਵੋਟ ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਸੰਧੂ।
For this special day, to be in Brampton West with my family with so many friends, including many Bramptonians who gave me the honor of serving them as the first international student in the provincial legislature in Ontario. I would like to thank each one of my constituents for the trust they have placed in me to be a strong voice for our community. I would like to say a big thank you to my boss and our leader, Premier Dugford, who agreed to to attend this wonderful gathering by taking the time out of his very, very busy schedule and joining us in Brampton. And that's precisely one of the reasons why Brampton is getting its fair share, as it always remained the center of attention for the Premier and the PC government, something that was completely missing in the past for far too long. I would also like to recognize other special guests, my brother Prami Sarkaria, President of Treasury Board, Graham McGregor, our candidate from Brampton North, and Hardeep Garewal, our candidate from Brampton East. Charmaine Williams, she's missing actually. She's sick, so she was not able to make it here today. We need a strong team, guys. So this is the team. We have done so much for Brampton, and so much more needs to be done. So we need strong team to be elected for Brampton West. So please all support them. Like I always say, my journey to arrive here in Canada and Brampton has been short in time, but long in memories. Although I left my family back in India and came here, I never felt that I'm away from my family, as I became part of this much bigger family that opened its doors and hearts to make me feel very welcome and very blessed every single day. The only thing that changed in the last 14 years is our bonding, which grew stronger and better with each passing day. And its culmination was evident when I started knocking on doors for my candidacy in Brampton West in 2018. When you all those who could join us here today and those who couldn't, you all decided to send me to Queen's Park with your overwhelming trust, support, love, and blessings. During the door knocking, I hear from people in Brampton West about how Brampton needs a second hospital, more long-term care homes, a medical school, Highway 413, her Ontario LRT, two-way all-day go services, and a new police station in Brampton West. And friends, under the leadership of Premier Ford, Brampton has received its much-needed second hospital that will serve the medical needs of the residents. The hospital that community was demanding from far too long, and the previous government neglected that. And you know who delivered this? This man right here, Premier Dutford. On top of that, the Mayor of Brampton calls it a home run for the city of Brampton. A medical school where we'll have a future where doctors and specialists will be trained within our community, and those doctors and specialists will be serving at the second hospital delivered by the Premier Ford. My friends, opposition wants us to spend more time on the roads and not with the family. Premier Ford and our government wants you to spend more time with your family and not on roads. And that is why we're building Highway 413. We're building 3 new long-term care homes. The culture-based long-term care homes which community was demanding since 1990. A long-term care home on the name of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. I heard that community was demanding from 1990. Many governments came, Liberal government, NDP government. Nobody delivered that. Who delivered this? Premier Dutford. Her Ontario LRT showers are already in the ground for her Ontario LRT that will connect Brampton and Mississauga and attract more businesses and talent to the city of Brampton. Two-way all-day go. We have already increased the frequency of trains on two-way all-day go, and we are getting very close to two-way all-day go. We are getting new police station in Brampton West because community safety is the topmost priority for our government. And who delivered that? Premier Ford. Ladies and gentlemen, I was never alone in pursuit of getting Brampton its fair share. I was always supported by my brother, colleague, and Mr. Prabhi Sarkaria at every step. And together, we didn't leave any stone unturned to get Brampton what it really deserves. My friends, now all these efforts could never have seen the light of the day if I and Mr. Sarkaria were not strongly supported by our leader, Premier Dutford, who did everything in his power to make sure that Brampton must receive its fair share. Ladies and gentlemen, it's no secret that Premier Ford is running to make our economy work for you and for every Ontarian, for the successful and the struggling, for the innovators and inventors, for those breaking barriers in technology and discovering cures for diseases, especially during the pandemic, for the factory workers, and food servers who stand on their feet all day, for the nurses and doctors who work the night shift and worked very hard when we saw the brutal phase of the pandemic. He's running for the truckers who drive for hours and the farmers who need us, for the veterans who served our country, for the small business owners who took a risk, for everyone who's ever been knocked down but refused to be knocked out. He's not running for some Ontarians, but for all Ontarians. With that spirit, with that same spirit together, we can win these fights for the current and future generations for Brampton by giving Brampton its fair share. If we all do our part in our families, in our businesses, our houses of worship, schools and universities, and yes, in the voting booth, as I'm seeking re-election and have to have the honor of serving you as your proud representative of Brampton West in the provincial legislature once again. I want you to join me in this effort. Help me build this campaign and make it our own. Talk to your friends, your family, your neighbors. Text join to 905-239-5200. Go to amarjotsandhu.com and sign up to make calls. Order a lawn sign and knock on doors. It's no secret that we're going up against some pretty powerful forces that will do and spend whatever it takes to advance a very difficult vision for Brampton, exercising neglect and spreading negativity. But I've spent my time at Queen's Park fighting for children, families, and our city, for Brampton of today and the future. And with your trust, support, and blessings, I'm not stopping now. Ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I would say here and urge you with all humility is that for Brampton to continue to add critical infrastructure, priorities, and receive its fair share, let's again turn Brampton West blue by voting the Ontario PC Party and me on June 2nd this year. Thank you so much for your time and support. Please know how proud I am to be representative at Queen's Park. And now guys, please help me welcome the next premier game of Ontario, Doug Ford.
Amarjot, you're an amazing leader. And you know, folks, for 15 years before we got elected, Brampton was ignored. They were ignored when it came to getting a new hospital. They were ignored when it became apparent that we needed new highways, roads, and bridges. Long-term care was ignored. I can tell you, with the great leadership behind me, Brampton was no longer ignored. We're building that new hospital, and isn't it amazing? You guys, do you want to come up here for a minute? Come on up. This is the future of Brampton, right here. Team Sandhu, I love it. These same kids are going to be going to school here, going possibly to the medical university, that we haven't seen a medical university in decades, and then practicing at the hospital that they graduated from. And I'm sure one of you are going to be future premier. Who's going to be the future premier? There you go. You know, folks, we're going to continue building infrastructure to a tune of $148 billion, no matter if it is the hospital or long-term care. And I'm going to tell you something about long-term care. In 15 years, the Liberals built 611 beds. In less than 4 years, we built 30,000 new beds. A lot of them right here in Brampton. We're going to continue building long-term care. We're going to make sure that the people of Brampton are represented. And I'm not too sure if any of you knew, but when Carl and I got married 34 years ago, we lived in Brampton for 5 years. We were over on Lisa Street, and my goodness, has it expanded. I remember going down the 410. The 410 never even existed. It was just 2 lanes going down there, and we're so fortunate to have the fastest growing city in all of Canada right here in Brampton, and that's why we have to make sure we get Hardeep elected, Graham elected, and of course Prab. I love Prab. He's the guy that takes care of all the money. I love the guy that takes care of the money, and Charmaine as well. Folks, can't ask for a better group of people than the people of Brampton. And we're going to continue putting money back into your pocket. No matter if it's even out in the East End that we got rid of the tolls on the 412 and 418. We're building make sure that we're going to build the 413. How many people got their checks back from their stickers? Anyone get a check back? Yeah, no, that was great. You know, it was badly needed. All it was a tax on a tax. And we made sure that we reduced the gas tax. We first started off with 4.3 cents. and now we're going to implement another 5.7 cents, total of 10 cents. But we still need our federal partners to get rid of the worst tax ever. It's the carbon tax. So we're going to keep pushing to get rid of the carbon tax and put more money back in your pocket. Folks, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. If it wasn't for each and every one of you, I wouldn't be here. Amarjot would be here. None of us would be here. But what I love to see is all the young people getting involved, because you're the future of this province. You're the future doctors, politicians, business owners, and you guys are going to be in good shape by the time you get older, and you'll have a beautiful city to raise a family. Thank you. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please give a big round of applause to the Premier, please, once again. Thank you so much. Now I request from Mr. Dani to say a few words, please.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being here today with Premier Doug Ford, and to support my good friend and brother Amarjot Sandhu. You know, when we got elected in 2018, Amarjot and myself, we made a commitment to fight for the people of Brampton. And every step along the way, I don't think there was anyone that worked harder, whether it was with his constituents, returning phone calls, going to events, making himself available in the community. Amarjot was always there, whether it was speaking in the House to get Brampton the much needed support we need for the hospital. It was actually Amarjot, and I believe it was 2019, who passed a motion after the Liberal government cancelled the 413. It was Amarjot's motion that started the 413 again in Brampton. His advocacy, his support is the reason we're getting, as we all know, a new hospital, a new highway, a new medical school, long-term care home. The Premier said the Liberals built 600 long-term care home beds between 2011 and 18. Guess what? Brampton is getting more than 600 beds in the last 4 years. So thank you, everybody, so much. Each and every one of you means so much to all of us across Brampton, as we count on you for our support to get the signs up, identify, vote, and canvass. So thank you so much, and best of luck to my brother Amarjot Sandhu. Thank you.
Namaskar to everybody here. My name is Hardeep Grewal, and you're a candidate in Brampton East. And I'd like to say that Amarjot and Propit Baji and Premier Ford have truly been an inspiration for Brampton, because the way Brampton is progressing forward is truly thanks to them, and I'm so proud to be a part of this team. When I door knock in Brampton East and I meet constituents every single day, they all mention to me that Propit's doing a great job, Amarjot's doing a great job, and I hope to succeed and be the version you guys see and continue their legacy of hard work and dedication of returning calls. And I appreciate everybody here today. Thank you so much, and I'd like to pass it on to our candidate in Brampton North, Graham McGregor.
Hey, thanks for that, and hey everybody, my name is Graham McGregor, the Ontario PC candidate for Brampton North. Mitwat Brampton North to PC party da umidwar Graham McGregor. Me Punjabi theek hai? Well, listen, I don't know what else I could say. You know, Brampton was ignored for decades under the previous government, under Doug Ford's leadership with Amarjot Paji, Prop Paji. Brampton is never going to be ignored again. And I do just want to say, you know, I had the pleasure of helping to run the campaign last time in 2018. I see a lot of familiar faces. Can we just give a round of applause for the hardworking volunteers that are out there every single day, helping my big brother Amarjot Sandhu. You know, this is Amarjot Sandhu campaign 2.0. I was team 1.0, and I do want to just say that there's a guy that I think everybody knows. He's never on stage. He's always working hard, doing a lot to organize this. Can we get a round of applause for a guy by the name of Mandeep Tuli? We all know when Amarjot wouldn't be here. None of us would be here without the hard work of him. So thank you so much. We're going to win this election at the doors. We're going to win it by putting in signs. We're going to win by calling people, and Amarjot by all the calls that he's returned so far and all the ones that he's going to continue to. So thank you so much for supporting our party on June 2nd. Say yes to the Ontario PC party. Say yes to my big brother, Amarjot Sandhu. Thank you so much.
are watching Channel Y. Channel Y, a South Asian Canadian channel.